After a roller coaster of a year, AMD, one of our favorite chip makers, one owned by my charitable trust, basically flat for 2024. And remember, AMD is the only chip maker that comes close to Nvidia in this artificial intelligence space. Yet now the stock's down roughly 80 points from its highs this spring. Something's wrong here. So let's check in with Dr. Lisa Su, the chair and CEO of Advanced Micro Devices, get a better sense of what's going on. Dr. Su, welcome back to Main Line.
Jim, it's wonderful to be here with you.
Well, Lisa, I saw you get honored earlier this week. It was a terrific event, Time 100, and you were a featured toaster because you've done so much well. And you said something really caught my ear and attention. You said that we'll look back 10 years from now and we can't believe what life was like now. Will you tell me what you're seeing 10 years from now that would make it so this seems also pedestrian?
Well, first of all, Jim, great to be here with you. And I have to say, I really do believe, we talk a lot about AI, but we're just really at the beginning of understanding what AI can do for us. And, if you take a step back, like I've been in this industry for like over 30 years. And we've seen, a lot of interesting technology. I mean, we saw cloud, we saw mobile, we saw PCs, we saw these were all great technologies. But AI is something different because it makes everything better in terms of, it makes our businesses, more productive. It makes our engineers more productive. It makes researchers more productive. And it helps us really, I can see a world where AI really helps us solve really some of the world's toughest problems. And that's why I say, it was a nice event on a Monday night. It was one of those events where you could see, a decade from now, nobody's going to be asking, what was the ROI on AI? Right. They're going to say that AI is part of our life. It's how we live. It's how we run our businesses. It's how we do our research. It's how we teach our kids. That's the world that I see.
Well, what do you say to people right now who are watching who just say, you know what, that's just businesses talking to businesses. I don't see it impacting my life at all.
Oh, I beg to disagree. I really believe that AI will impact everyone's lives. It's just starting today. So, let's not be impatient, right? Tech trends are meant to play out over years, not over months. We've only been in this, let's call it, chat GPT world for maybe like 18 months. We're all learning. It's fun. We all use it. Right. We use it to make ourselves, to answer questions for us. We use it to help us in sales and marketing. We use it to help us build chips, frankly, in terms of large language models. But now we're going to see it in all aspects of our lives. And, I think of it as, personal assistance. I think of it as education. Probably one of the areas that I'm most excited about is, what we can do in healthcare and what we can do in accelerating research. And, these are things that, if you look at the process that it would take for drug companies to discover new drugs, it might take like years.
Right, and most fail. 90% fail.
Exactly. If you could change years to weeks, or days, that's kind of the superpower. And that's just one example. And the beauty of all this is you need the computing, and that's what we do, right? We do all of the foundation of the computing that enables AI to help us in all of these industries. And that's why I'm just so excited about where we are right now.
All right, now I want to disabuse some people of a notion. People tell me, well, listen, it's either Nvidia or it's AMD. And to me, if you don't think that there's room for two, you really don't understand the space. But that's you taught me that. Let's teach others that.
Well, it's absolutely true. The way to think about it is there's no one size fits all in computing. There's no, only one architecture. Actually, you're going to need the right compute for each application. Like, I'm excited about AI everywhere. I'm excited about AI in the cloud. I'm excited about AI in PCs, so that we each have our own, sort of AI engines. I'm excited about AI at, the edge and infrastructure that we use, throughout, the entire world. So there are all kinds of different computing that you need. And the beauty of AMD is that, we've had this vision for the last, 10 plus years. This is kind of how we've thought about, sort of what do we want to be when we grow up? We want to be the high performance computing leader. And AI is a huge, huge piece of that.
Okay, but let me give you how I feel as someone who's followed you from when the stock was at 5, and you explained to me why to sell Intel at 50 and why buy AMD at 5. So far, so good. But you explained to me a roadmap, and it was a roadmap of Italian cities, and it was going to lead to triumph. And when that triumph occurred, your company would be worth a lot more. I don't hear much about the roadmap anymore. I just hear much more about AI. What happened to the roadmap, and is that not making you that much money anymore?
Well, first of all, let me take a step back and say, you need computing of all sizes. So if you want to talk about Italian cities, I could talk to you about Italian cities. There's really, think about it this way, Jim. There's like, 3 types of computing, right? There's, this big accelerator AI computing that we're talking about for our large language models and for, all of that stuff. We're at Dreamforce.
MI300.
Yeah, MI300. We're at Dreamforce this week. There's a lot of talk about what you need to do, with agents and things like that. There's traditional compute, and in CPU land, where our Italian roadmap has done extraordinarily well. If you think about data centers around the world, they need to become more efficient. There's too much old equipment. That equipment has to be upgraded. You need the highest performance, lowest power efficiency, overall total cost of ownership. We're now in our 5th generation of our Italian cities. So Turin is our latest and greatest, products there. We're just about to launch it in the next quarter. Lots of exciting things going on there. I talked about AI PCs that are also a very exciting trend that we're going to see going forward. In the PC market, where we have intelligence in AI, and then we also have our embedded computing, Jim. I've talked a lot about that. Sort of the what we're doing with FPGAs and adaptive computing. Aerospace and defense, we use a tremendous amount of AMD underneath that. When you think about industrial test and measurement, so we are computing across the board. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement around AI and accelerators, but they're really 3 major legs of our computing stool.
Well, it makes sense that the AI part is exciting because you put out some pretty amazing numbers for 2027. A lot of people initially felt that they were impossible. As we go on, it seems like that they're reasonable and rational projections, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And we see the computing market in AI accelerators getting to $400 billion by 2027.
No wonder we don't care about Italian roadmaps.
No. We love all compute. We love all compute. But when you think about the power of AI and where it goes, sure, that's where a lot of our focus is. We've made tremendous progress in our roadmap around accelerators. MI300 is our current generation. We're now on a 1-year cadence. So every year we come out with new hardware such that we can make AI even more efficient and more capable going forward. So we're launching our next generation here again in the 4th quarter. Then you'll see us with a new generation MI350 series in 2025, and then MI400 series in 2026. So our Italian cities plus our accelerators, you'll see just a tremendous growth opportunity.
And if we saw you in the same room as Jensen Huang, would you be able to say, you know what, I get along with a guy who's a decent competitor, or are things just too heated between the 2 companies?
Look, I'm a big believer in the technology ecosystem really works when you have, good competition and frankly, good partnership as well. And there are places where, we partner across the ecosystem, and then there are places where we compete. But the main thing is customers want choice, right? Our customers are the largest customers in the world. They want the best tech. Everybody wants to have the good choices, and that's what we're offering. We're offering just a very, very strong, high-performance computing roadmap.
And that world works when demand exceeds supply, doesn't it?
It is one of those cases, Jim, where people have asked me over and over again, are we going to have enough? Right. And we are building. We are building, a ton so that we have enough computing capacity. But demand is very strong as well. And so, we're going to continue to ramp up the supply chain. But I view this as, again, let's not think about it as what happens over the very short term. Right. Let's go back to how we started with, we're going to look back at this whole time, 10 years from now, and we're going to say, what was life like? before AI.
I have to tell you, I look back 10 years from right now, and I remember where your stock was. I remember you told me what I was going to do, and had I said buy it at 5 and sell it at 7, well, I guess we would have missed a lot of points. I want to thank Lisa Su, AMD Chair and CEO. Don't grade it on a day when the Fed gives you a 50 basis point cut. That's not how to look at stocks, businesses, or Lisa Su. Mad Money's back after the break.
Coming up, is Workday rising? The other enterprise software star jumping for generative AI. Next. Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.